Exercise isn't just about exercise. It can teach you something about your life that can be useful. In this video, I'm going to share 6 things with you that I've learned about my life and myself through exercise. The idea that you could learn more about yourself through exercise was first introduced to me by Dan Millman. And Dan Millman is a best-selling author, former world champion gymnast, and he's also been a coach to elite athletes, including Olympians. One night, over a cup of tea in a hotel lobby after dinner, Dan explained to me how he had worked with these athletes, these gymnasts, using a philosophy that he wasn't just training them to be great gymnasts, he was actually training them to use what they learn in life so that they could actually get better at life. Since Dan said that to me, I've tried to use that philosophy wherever I can to learn something about myself as I exercise. And what I'd like to share in this video are 6 things I've learned about myself in the hope that they may inspire something in you. So the first thing I've learned is that some days I just don't want to exercise. I tend to exercise first thing in the morning, and some days I just don't want to get out of bed. But the thing is, I said I would exercise and I've got a plan. And what getting myself up and forcing myself to exercise does is to act out of principle rather than the desire to stay in bed. And I think that's a pretty good way of going about living life, because you're good to your word. You do what you say you're going to do. You don't give in to your whims before you even get started. For me, exercise Monday through to Friday is a non-negotiable. Saturday and Sundays are a little bit different. Sometimes I might just rest and recover. Other times I might go for a walk, or sometimes I might go for a gentle run. But Saturday and Sunday is a choice. Monday to Friday isn't. Acting out of principle also shows up in other areas of life. You know, for example, work. If you say you're going to show up and you say you're going to be there for that meeting, then you show up and you be there for your meeting. And I think that's a pretty good standard to live by, to say you're going to do something and then actually do it. It builds trust in other people. People know they can rely on you. The second thing I've learned about myself is you can fake it till you make it. And I'm not talking about faking it till you make it in a kind of false, inauthentic kind of way of going about life. It's a bit of an add-on to the first thing that I just said. You know, let's say I've managed to get up and I am now exercising, but I don't really want to be there, and maybe I'm not really feeling it. And so the other day I was out for a run. I was about 7 or 8 minutes into the run, and I started feeling like I didn't really want to do the run. I was feeling a bit tired. In fact, I had butt ache, if I'm honest. I'd done too many exercises the day before, and it was affecting the way that I was running. I was feeling a bit lethargic. And what I did was I just said to myself, look, you know, come on, Neil, let's just try this for 5 minutes. Let's just get up to the usual pace and tempo that you would run at, and let's just see where you are in 5 minutes. And then after 5 minutes, I said to myself, okay, what's your inner champion saying to you? Because you just talk to yourself in these like stupid ways sometimes. So what's your inner champion saying to yourself? And actually it was saying to me,
you've got more energy than you believe you have, so just keep going.
So I did. I just kept going, and I got home, and when I checked the time that I'd been running, it was actually my second best time of the year. So I think that's quite a good example of being able to fake it till you make it. Kind of similar to that is that little voice in the back of your head, you know, the one that goes, I don't really want to do this, or maybe it's too hot and you don't really want to run because it's too hot, or maybe it's because it's raining. I'm a fair weather runner, I've admitted that, and I'll keep admitting that. I don't like running in the rain. The thing is though, if you keep going, you can show that voice in your head that wants you to quit that actually you're in charge, not the monkey inside your head. Because that monkey, it just keeps wanting to sabotage you. Because that monkey, it just keeps wanting to sabotage you, doesn't it? The third thing I've learned is that you have to know where the challenges are going to crop up. And then you have to be able to visualize how you're going to manage those challenges. I think personally, I've actually spent too much time trying to visualize positive outcomes. You know, that moment where you know, you cross the finish line and, you know, the crowd are cheering and, you know, you've got a joyous smile on your face. But the truth is, it's not really like that, is it? I mean, usually when you're working out, you're doing it through gritted teeth. David Goggins put this beautifully in his book, You Can't Hurt Me. He was talking about, you can picture yourself maybe swimming out to the boat, and you can see yourself kind of getting onto the boat and kind of cheering and, you know, feeling great about yourself. But he says that the thing is that when you walk out into the sea and that first really freezing cold wave hits you in the pelvic region, that vision is out of the window. So you have to be able to visualize the challenges that will crop up. That actually isn't a perfect recap of what David Goggins actually said. It's just like the version that I can remember from that. But you have to know where the challenges are going to crop up, and you have to be able to visualize. you have to be able to visualize yourself how you react when the challenges crop up. You know, when you're working out and you get to that rep where you kind of feel like you've hit the wall, you've got to know how it is you're going to react in order to get through that. And you almost have to practice that over and over again until it actually becomes a natural behavior for you. And I know whenever I'm working out, whether it's with weights or whether it's on a run, I know at some point I'm going to start to struggle. So I can see myself acknowledging that that's happening, and then I dig in. And I say to myself, this is where it matters. This is the moment where I could get better. Come on. And then what I might do is I might kind of recall a moment where maybe somebody put me down or said something to me. And I might then actually use that to create a bit of kind of internal anger, so that I can kind of push myself in a kind of I'll show you kind of way. So you have to prepare yourself for the challenges when they come up, and you have to be able to see how you're going to react so that when they come up, you react in that way so that the reaction is automatic. And then it gets into your cells, and then you just keep reacting in that way time after time after time from there onwards. And it just becomes who you are. Number 4 is to empty yourself. One of my sports teachers used to refer to me as being a gentle giant, and I was never sure whether or not that was a compliment. I'd like to think that he meant that I was so graceful and skillful with what I did. On the other hand, he might have just meant that I don't get nasty and I don't dig in. And like over the years, people have said that sometimes they feel like I'm holding back when I'm doing something. So when I exercise now, I make sure I empty myself out. It's like you're doing some weights and you've got to that last rep, and then you just pause and you go, right, 3 more. And then you just keep doing that on every set that you do until your muscles start to scream. And you keep saying, no, screw you, and you just keep pushing through. And this can play out in life too, because like the other day I was at work and fatigue had kicked in. It was sort of like late afternoon, and I was feeling tired because of a really high level of concentration on what I was doing during the day. And I just felt really fatigued. And I just applied the same principle. I got up for a moment. Actually, it was probably like 10 minutes, probably closer to 20 really, if I'm honest. And then I just came back to my desk and I just finished off the task. And when you've emptied yourself like that, there's this feeling of satisfaction, you know, that you've really dug in and done and achieved what you set out to achieve. And that's so much better than just like holding something back and maybe, you know, feeling like you've cheated yourself at the end of the day. And I think it's a bit of a spiritual experience actually, and it's very different from kind of like saying, oh, you know, it was too hard, it's not meant to be, the universe didn't want this for me, and then you give in. I think that's BS. Growth isn't always easy because you've got to do something that you're not used to doing. It's better to surrender yourself to that thing and really go for it, and you know, and let everything you have go into that, than it is to surrender to something by not actually doing it and kind of like giving in on it. Because if you do that, I don't think you really kind of know or understand the depths that are within you. It's a bit like being 100% all in, really. That's what I'm saying. And being 100% all in can play out in other areas of your life too. I mean, let's just take a relationship, for example. You know, are you 100% all into that relationship, or are you keeping something back? And what would happen if you went 100% all in? How would that feel to you? How would that feel to your partner? Who would you become if you threw yourself into something without reservation? Number 5 for me is I love the results, so I do the work. These days, I think there's a bit of nonsense out there about find your passion, do what you love, do what you're good at. I mean, to a point, there's some truth in that, but I think it only goes so far. The truth is that I don't always love what I do, but I do really love the results that I get. Do I love denying myself that extra piece of cake? No, but do I love being a pound lighter tomorrow morning? Yes. Do I love the feeling of my muscles burning while I'm running? No, I don't. But do I love that feeling of having that passing lane power where I can just shift gear when I need to? Absolutely. In life and in work, I don't always love the tasks that I have to do, but I do love knowing that something that we've done has helped change or transform someone's life in some way, and that makes it all worthwhile. Number 6 is all about having a mental edge. Doing things I don't want to do, faking it till I make it, doing things that maybe I don't enjoy but I do them anyway. These things will give me a mental edge when I'm challenged. They give me more confidence. I just know that I've overcome this and that, so I could overcome whatever comes next. And this just helps me to go through to the next level. I'll give you an example of how this played out for me. The other day I was doing something, again this was in work, and I thought I'd done it quite well, but I decided to just review it and look for where I'd done good but could actually take that to a level of excellence. And that just allows you to take things up a level. So there you go, 6 things I've learned about myself as a result of exercise. The thing I've come to believe is that you can use exercise as a practice to become better at life. Practicing transforms what you do into the muscle, into cellular memory, so that when you do something, it just becomes what you do and it becomes who you are. So I've just thought of another one, a 7th one actually, and I just want to add this in. This one's about overdoing things. Sometimes you've got to know when to stop. I used to do HIIT workouts 7 days a week for an hour and I burnt out. It was just too much. What I found is if I take days off for rest and recovery, or I vary my workouts, maybe weights one day, flexibility another day, then cardio, then some balance work, I actually feel better. And feeling better is what it's all about. And we don't exercise for exercise sake, do we? We exercise because we're looking for something else. We exercise because we want to feel better, we want to feel good about who we are, we want to feel good in our clothes, we want to look good, we want to be more confident. So rest and recovery and knowing when to stop can actually be really good for us. So there we go, in the end, 7 things that I've learned about myself through exercise. If you've enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of all of our latest uploads as and when they happen. I'll see you in the next video.